The 10th season Takeover series in FC25 starts today. We are taking over Spurs for 10 seasons to see how many trophies we can win. To start off the takeovers in FC25, I'm gonna explain to you the rules, the points tally. So you get 5 points for winning the UEFA Champions League, 3 points for winning the National League, in this case the Premier League with Spurs, 3 points for winning the UEFA Europa League or the UEFA Europa Conference League, and then 1 point for any cup competition like the Carabao, the Super Cup, the Community Shield, or the FA Cup in this case. Spurs are of course going to set the pace here, so we have to do well to see how many trophies we can win, how many points we will collect with Spurs on the Takeover leaderboard. Having a look at the squad here, we don't have a bad set of players, but a few players are out of position, like Kulusevski, who is actually a right winger. We have Johnson on that right, but I do believe that we need maybe a better centre midfielder, or I'm not so sure actually, maybe a different formation as well. Son is of course the captain, Solanke is the new signing from Bournemouth. Besides hiring a few coaches to boost our chances of growth, I've also set a tactical preset, tiki-taka, we are going to try and play with Spurs over those 10 seasons. One more thing that we are always going to do in the future as well in these 10 season takeovers is set a youth scout actually, send him out to the country of the club, and then send him out there for 6 months, 3 months, 9 months, whatever, just to make sure to find some talent, harness it, and then down the line, down the seasons, bring it into the first team. In the default youth academy, we have 3 Englishmen and 1 Colombian or Ecuadorian, I think, and all of those look really good, especially Charlton and Rojas, 79 to 94 potential, Middleton as well, 73 to 94. I have done some business in the first season, selling Ben Davies to Napoli for 6 million and then loaning out a whole list of youth talents, young talents like Archie Gray, like Mikey Moore, Lucas Bergvall and Alfie Dorrington, all for 2 years. I'm also changing some positions, Werner to a left winger, Odobert to a left winger, and Bentancur to a CDM, just to give us that stability in midfield. Changing Kulusevski, our offensive players, to a right winger, Johnson to a right winger as well, because we are playing with wingers, and Son back to a left winger. He's to 87 as well. To start off this takeover, we bring in a centre-back from Italy, a man for the future especially. He's 20 years old, 78 rated, from Atalanta. Italian centre-backs, you cannot go wrong with that, so we've gone in for Giorgio Scalvini for 30 million coming in to Spurs. The second one we bring in is another man for the future, even further down the line, a right back. He's even lower rated than Jet Spence, our backup right now, but it's a good man for the future, a good investment, very cheap one as well. Bringing in the Sporting right back Ivan Fresneda for 5 million. We still have about 94 million in our budget, but still I do believe that those 2 players are enough for the first season. Actually, I was wrong. Fresneda is higher rated than Spence, but still I do believe one of those needs to get out still. Fresneda either on a loan or Spence on a permanent. We haven't changed anything in the starting 11. Scalvini comes onto the bench. He's higher rated than Dragusin, but now we have 2 backup centre-backs, which is not too bad. Let's see how Spurs is done and dusted, and we finish in 3rd place in the Premier League. A good season, I would say. 74 points, 12 of Manchester City. But the painful thing is we finish behind our rivals Arsenal. The FA Cup goes to Man City over Newcastle. The Carabao goes to Wolves on penalties over Man United. However, we do win our first trophy, our first 3 points onto the leaderboard. We bring our trophy curse to an end, winning the Europa League over Galatasaray in the final. If you're having a look at the team, it's looking very good. Kulusevski has gone up to an 85, Bissouma 81, Bentancur 82, Madison up to an 86. Our centre-back partnership, Van de Ven, Romero 85-86, even Scalvini, the man we bought, has gone up to an 80. Udogi 85, an exciting prospect, and then Porro 86, Vicario 87. A very good team. 42 goals by Solanke. That is crazy. 21 and 18 for Son, 14 for Kulusevski. Odobert had gone on loan to Crystal Palace and scored 13 goals there. But 42 for Solanke is absolutely bonkers. We have made 3 points in the first season with Spurs, winning the Europa League. Third in the Premier League wasn't too bad. Let's see what we can do if we can build on that good first season in the second. At the start of Season 2, I want to show you a couple of players who are in the Youth Academy. So the best players actually who have set foot into this Youth Academy are Charlton and Rojas. Charlton is going to get promoted. He's a fullback, a left back. To start off the second season in terms of transfers, we go in for a backup striker. An exciting prospect. In real life he plays for Bayern. In this case for Atletico Madrid. It is the Frenchman Mathys Tel coming into the club for 42 million. The second player I bring in is a reliable second goalkeeper, a rotational, a backup to Vicario. He's only 22, he has a lot of room to grow. He only had about the four-star Austin, all of them were already really relatively old. And that's why we've gone in for the Englishman James Trafford from Burnley for 12.6 million plus Brandon Austin. We've also done some business out, actually a lot of business to be honest. 34 million for Richarlison, who goes to Chelsea of all clubs. Mano Solomon goes to Newcastle. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg goes to Manchester United. Brian Gill to Crystal Palace. Jet Spence has finally gone to Leicester. Alfie Whiteman to Preston North End. And then we've loaned out a whole list of players. Phillips, Donnelly, Willis and Scarlett. Our final signing for season number 2 is a very talented midfielder. He might already start, but he's not even 20 years old. He comes from PSG. I think you guys know where this might be going. If I'm not mistaken, he's already earned a call-up for the French national team. It is Warren Zaire-Emery coming over from France, from PSG for 74 million. This is how the team is looking like. Of course, Ivan Presneda was on loan last season. He's returned. We have Zaire-Emery, who is now on the bench, but I do believe, yeah, he might just fight with Bissouma and Bentancur for that spot. We might even change the formation because of him. But for now, he's a bench player. We've of course got Mathys Tel on the bench instead of Richarlison, who has been sold. Otherwise, Charlton is now a bench player as well, a reserve. He might get loaned out as well. There's still a bit of time. But this team is ready to compete for more and more. It's a young team. Of course, as the Europa League winners, we will face Real Madrid in the UEFA Super Cup. Let's see if we can get a first point for this season. Yes, actually. Solanke with a brace. He's getting more and more of a hero. And I haven't replaced him for good reason. And we come closer and closer to winning the Premier League, actually. 2 points behind Manchester City, already ahead of Arsenal on same points than them. Wolves make another cup final. However, this time they lose out to championship side Norwich on penalty. The Carabao goes to Liverpool over Man City. Of course, we were in the Champions League. 5th in the league table. That was very good. Let's see how we did. We went to the round of 16 immediately, where we thrashed Feyenoord 5-1. Quarterfinals, we overcame Milan 5-3. And in the semis, we even overcame PSG 4-3 to face Newcastle in the final. And we have won our first 5 points of this rebuild, our first Champions League of this takeover. And I already know why we've done so well. 2 top players, 44 goals and 15 assists for Son, who has gone down to an 86. 39 goals for now 84 rated Solanke. Kulusevski with 20 goals. Odobert was one more season at Palace. He's a 78 now, 17 goals for him. Why didn't Tel play more than 5 games? I'm wondering. I wanted him to have a little bit more of an impact, but oh well. We have done very well, and look at this squad. I mean, 87, 87, 87, and 88 rated backline. An 89 rated keeper. Bissouma is maybe now the weakest link of this team. But I don't know why Sarr is on the bench, but he has to start. 9 points after a couple of seasons. 6 points this season. Of course, the Champions League was the big one. Second in the Premier League, very close. Let's see if in Season 3 we can break the curse in the Premier League as well. We have sold Yves Bissouma in the 3rd season to West Ham United for 32 million. Dane Scarlett goes to Sheffield United. And the whole list of loans once more. We have Tel, who goes out on loan. He didn't get the play time I wanted him to get last season, so he goes to Roma. Wilson Odobert goes to BVB Dortmund once again on a loan move. Archie Gray to Liverpool. Bergvall to Monaco and Mikey Moore, all the talents actually out of the club on loan to get game time. We have made the signing of so many young players, so we add yet another one. A regen already, a right midfielder from the Netherlands. He's 19 years old. Coming in from the Bundesliga from Bayer Leverkusen for 80 million, it is Dan Kramer into Spurs. And finally, just to give us a little bit of backup in centre midfield, as we've now, of course, sold Bissouma, a 23-year-old whose contract was expiring from Barcelona. We could only approach him via his release clause of 91 million. It is Fermin coming into Spurs. None of these players, neither Fermin nor Kramer, make it into the starting 11. Kramer is 1982, Fermin is 2381. Very good options coming from the bench. But the starting 11 is looking very fine. Still Son there as the captain, as the starter at 86. We may replace him in the future with this Kramer guy. We'll see, but for now this is a very good team, a very good squad. Willis has returned from loan. He's now the backup striker, as Tell has been loaned out to get more game time, more goals, more confidence. As the Champions League winners will of course have once again the opportunity to win a point in the UEFA Super Cup against Liverpool. And we lose this time. Last season we won against Madrid. This season we come short, we fall short to Europa League. Done and dusted, and we still cannot win the Premier League, even though we finished above the likes of Manchester United, Manchester City and Chelsea, and even Liverpool. We are still, this time again, behind Arsenal and the champions of Newcastle United. We, however, do make our first point of Season 3, winning the FA Cup over Newcastle. Make that a double! Second point of the season, winning the Carabao over Liverpool as well. We were, of course, in the Champions League, where we finished in 10th place in the Champions League phase, which meant that we went to the playoffs, where we absolutely obliterated Rangers 6-1. Round of 16, where are we? We got defeated by Real Madrid. Son, once again, he stayed at an 86. He scored 35 and 17 assists in 66 appearances. 34 goals in 66 for Solanke, crazy. 27 goals, 10 assists for Kulusevski. And then look at the drop of 8 goals, 10 assists is the next one by Pedro Porro. If we have a look at our team, it's absolutely in fine shape. Everyone in the team is above 85 rated. The lowest rated ones are Sarr and Son at 86. We have a Vicario 91 rated. A fantastic striker, Solanke, has developed so nicely up to an 88. Willis the backup at an 80. Kramer here, he can go to the bench because he's 84, too higher rated than Johnson. We have collected a couple of points, 2 points in this third season. The Carabao and the FA Cup are ours, but still no Premier League and no European success either. We are on 11 points now after 3 seasons. Let's jump into the fourth one and collect more points. Some departures have been made. A big one in Brennan Johnson, who goes to Lazio for 44 million. Donnelly goes to Hull City for 6.7 million. Radu Dragushin for 19.2 to Leipzig. Alfie Devine, a youth academy player from Tottenham in real life, has gone to Sunderland. Julio Rojas has gone on loan, a youth academy player. And then Ashley Phillips as well as Archie Gray once again. Season 4 has started and we needed a little bit of backup to, of course, James Maddison in cam spot. We have gone in for a player whose contract, although it was expiring, we only could approach him by triggering the release clause. I am talking about the Moroccan Bilal El Kanous coming in from Leicester for 85 million. The second and final player I'm going in for in Season 4 is a new centre-back. Of course, we have sold Dragushin and we got in a younger and better in terms of overall rated player from France. It is Lamine Camara coming in for 50 million from Estac. He's only 18. Of course, we've now got El Kanous in that backup cam spot. He will chop and change with Fermin there. Camara is on the reserves in terms of centre-back spot. He's got a bit of the weird eyes here. I mean, hasn't he slept for a week or something? He looks like that, but he might get loaned out. I'm not so sure though yet. Scalvini is, of course, still higher rated on the subs bench. Let's see if we can win the first trophy there is to win. The FA Community Shield against Newcastle. We do win it. Kulusevski and Zaire-Emery make us come from behind. And we bag our first point of season. And finally, we are the champions of the Premier League. 3 points onto the leaderboard here in Season 4. 89 points as well, 16 ahead of Liverpool, West Ham in third. We don't win the FA Cup as that goes to Aston Villa over Hull City. We, however, do win the Carabao, defeating Arsenal. That's what you want to see. Very nice. 3-0 in the final. One more point onto the leaderboard. However, the big one, the Champions League, where we only finished in 22nd. So we had to go to a playoff round where we defeated Slavia Prague 4-2. Round of 16, we even defeated Inter 4-3. Quarterfinals, we even defeated Leverkusen, so we are off to the semis, where we got knocked out by Atletico Madrid. Once again, Solanke is the top scorer. 36 for him, 28 for Kulusevski, 28 for an 88 rated Kramer is crazy as well. He must have come up for Son, who's only played 19 games. Porro with 68 games, crazy. 13 goals for Zaire Emery. I mean, the stats are not looking bad. I mean, just look at the state of this team. Such a good side. So many great players. Son has now gone down to an, of course, 84. He might get replaced just with Kramer. That's why we bought this guy in. Odobert is even still there. Kanu's on the bench. 5 points in season 4, 16 points after 4 seasons. There is still a lot of room for improvement. Our first signing of season number 5 is for a future prospect. He's 20 years old only and already at 80 overall. A third string goalkeeper right now, may get loaned out for the first season. I am talking about the Czech regen goalkeeper Jan Novak. 44 million he cost us from Juventus. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit disappointed by how Ivan Fresneda developed, so I've sent him away in a swap deal with an Englishman who had gone to Italy. Now he comes back to England. It is the former Manchester City player Rico Lewis coming in for 21 million plus Fresneda. And finally we go in for a big exciting prospect, the Brazilian winger. Of course, Heung-min Son is going to retire very soon. He's already 36. And this guy is the heir to his throne. Him together with, of course, Kramer will be the future of Tottenham Hotspur. It is Dennis Ferreira coming in from PSG for just about 50 million. We have subsequently sold a whole list of players like Alejo Velis to Milan for 26 million. Ashley Phillips to Grenoble for 8 million. And then loaned out a whole list. Julio Rojas to Lyon. Lucas Bergvall, once again, always the same players. Mikey Moore. Sam Charlton goes to Man City. I don't know if he gets enough game time there, but oh well. And then the big ones, Jan Novak and Denis Ferreira. Both of them we just bought. Both of them go out on loan. One to Inter Milan for a couple of years. And one to Crystal Palace, just to see what he can do. This is how the squad is looking like after those transfers. Scalvini drops all the way down to the reserves. Camara is now on the bench. Romero and Van de Ven still the centre-backs of dreams. Nearly everyone in that back four now in their 90s, apart from Romero, 89. We have Saad an 87, Madison 87, Zaire Emery up to a 90. Kramer, of course, still injured at this moment in time. He's got two backups in Son and Odobert. Son going down, but Kulusevski and Solanke are still there. And then we have backup right back Rico Lewis also there, 23-83. The other two, of course, we bought straight back out on loan. The first test of the season comes in form of the FA Community Shield against Aston Villa at Wembley, with Son on the left wing replacing Kramer. And we win Kulusevski and Solanke with our goal. Solanke has been such a clutch player. Douglas Luiz gives Villa one back, but we get our first point onto the leaderboard. It's over, and we win back-to-back Premier League titles. 1 point this time only ahead of Liverpool, 3 ahead of Manchester City. But 3 points onto the leaderboard as well. We lose the FA Cup final to Nottingham Forest. We don't make it a 4th or 5th point actually of the season. And we lose the Carabao Cup final. What is going on? We've lost on penalties to Man United. No points there either. 16th in the Champions League phase doesn't really fill me with confidence. We went to the playoffs where we actually defeated Braga 3-1. In the round of 16, we destroyed Barcelona 4-1 on aggregate. Then we dismantled Leipzig 7-2 in the quarters. We even beat Atletico Madrid in the semis 2-1 to make it to yet another final of the Champions League. But once again, we lose a final. I mean, we have been so Spursy this season. You can't even imagine. Solanke has scored 37 goals, 33 for Kulusevski, 27 for Kramer, 15 assists and 13 goals for Zaire Emery. Ferreira on loan to Crystal Palace has developed nicely. But yeah, these stats, especially Solanke, Kulusevski, Kramer, are looking absolutely insane. I mean, only 3 players in Romero, Sarr and Maddison, not in the 90s. We've built an absolute super team here, and I can't wait to continue using it for the second part of this takeover. We could have won every title there is to win this season. We've won the Community Shield at the Premier League, but we've been in the final of course, the FA Cup. We've been in the final of the Carabao and in the final of the Champions League. It is unlucky, but we have collected still 4 points in season number 5, 20 points after 5 seasons. We are starting off season number 6 by going in for a world-class cam. Maddison is now 32, and El Kanouz is not really developing either. That's why I've gone in for the Turkish wizard Arda Güler from Brighton in this save for 150 million. Next up, we buy an absolute superstar regen who can play on both the right back and the left back spots. Probably going to fill in for both Udogi and Porro. It is Eduardo Ramirez from Freiburg in Germany for 152 big bucks. I think that's going to be it for season number 6. We've done all the transfers we needed. Güler is there, of course, at 24.89 rated. And I've also replaced James Maddison. I'm going to show you the transfers out in a moment. Kamara is the centre-back on the bench. Ramirez is there, of course, giving back up to Porro and Udogi, as I said. A lot of improvements, in depth especially, this season. As I've alluded to, James Maddison has left the club for 92 million. He's gone to Liverpool. And then the other ones have been loans, as per usual. Mikey Moore, Julio Rojas, Sam Charlton and Lucas Bergvall, all of them get 1 more year on loan. The Community Shield is once again the first competitive game of the season against Nottingham Forest. Let's see how this goes. We win that 2-1. Our first point of season 6 is the Community Shield. Done and dusted, and we are the champions for the 3rd time in a row. 12 points ahead of Brighton, 14 ahead of Man City and 15 ahead of Liverpool. 3 points onto the leaderboard. The FA Cup goes to Aston Villa over Crystal Palace. We win though the Carabao Cup and make it 5 points for season 6 so far, defeating Liverpool in the final. In the Champions League, we finished in 3rd place in the league stage phase. We immediately went to the round of 16 where we defeated Barcelona. We even thumped Real Madrid in the quarters. And in the semis, we defeated Chelsea just about to face Inter Milan, but we lost on penalties. I mean, those finals and losses on penalties have been so many. So many valuable points have gone missing because of penalty shootouts. Once again, Dominic Solanke with 35 goals, 25 for Kramer, Kulusevski with 20 goals, even Fermin with 14 goals, 11 assists. A lot of games he's played. We have collected 5 points in season number 6, 25 after 6 seasons. For the last 4, we have to step our game up, especially in those finals. We have to win more of them. To start off season number 7, we've sold a couple of players in. Scalvini to Manchester City. He didn't develop as nicely as I would have liked him to. And Wilson Odobert, who has had a few years at Spurs, but now he's been sold for 15 million to Atletico Madrid. And then we've loaned out a whole list of players once again. Our first signing of season number 7 is a big centre-back. He's only 20 years old, but already 86 rated, a man for present and future. It is the French regen centre-back, Ethan Morel, coming in from Real Madrid for 160 million. At this point, we are just spending some money for fun, going in for yet another striker. We didn't have a 3rd string, and so I've gone in for one. Maybe he gets loaned out as well. Yet another Frenchman in Arnaud Dubois coming in from Brentford for 60 million. Dubois is 83 rated at 21. Morel is 86 rated at 20. Just as high as Kamara with 21. So the future here at Tottenham Hotspur is insured when Romero and Van de Ven in a few years' time will retire. As per usual, we play the FA Community Shield as our first competitive game of the season. Against Aston Villa this time as the champions. And we win. Our first point of season number 7 is secured. 3-2, a very narrow win over Aston Villa. At the end of the transfer window, I have decided to send out Arnaud Dubois to Lombardia, which is Inter, for a couple of seasons to develop nicely to get that Season 7 is done and dusted, and for the 4th time in a row we are the champions. Very comfortable as well. 92 points, 18 ahead of Liverpool. That's what you want to see. 3 points onto the leaderboard. The FA Cup goes to West Ham over Man United. And we lose the Carabao Cup final to Chelsea. Again, a cup final that we lose. In the Champions League, we topped the league phase. That's a great achievement. 7 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses. We went straight to the round of 16 where we absolutely obliterated Ajax 7-3. Quarterfinals, we obliterated Bayern 6-1. And even in the semis, we defeated Liverpool to face Real Madrid. But once again, we fall short in the final. 4-3, what a banger of a final. 45 goals for Solanke, 38 for Kulusevski, and 33 by Kramer. Those are the best stats I've ever seen with this Spurs side. 11 for Zaire-Emery with 13 assists is great as well. All the others are below that. We have made 4 points and are on 29 after 7 seasons. We have to step our game up though in the final 3. Because we have to set a landmark for the others, the upcoming teams, to break after that. We are so bloated with young and experienced players, a very good mix for season number 8. I don't even want to make any changes to neither the starting 11 nor the bench. Because look at those players, Bentancur is maybe the only one that we could look at replacing. Maybe next season Sarr goes into that starting spot, he's only 28 now. As usual, the first game of the season is at Wembley Stadium, this time against West Ham, the Community Shield, and we absolutely tonked them. 3-0, we get our first point of season number 8. Against expectations, we had to let go of Bilal El Khanous, who has been sold to Bournemouth for 136 million because his release clause had been met. Still, we are very strong in midfield. Of course, Sarr, Goulet and Zaire-Emery started anyways. We have Fermin and Bentancur on the bench and Bergvall still on the reserve, so no need to go in a rush for a new the Premier League, this time on 80 points, just about ahead of Liverpool, 3 points onto the leaderboard. However, no points in the FA Cup as Chelsea win that over Liverpool, and no points either in the Carabao as Liverpool win that as well, do the domestic double over Leicester. We did finish in 4th place in the Champions League phase. So we immediately went to the round of 16. Let's see where we are. Where are we? We defeated Inter Milan 5-3 on aggregate. Quarterfinals, we just about overcame Liverpool on penalties. In the semis, we overcame PSG. And finally, we've won a Champions League again. It is a 1-0 win over AC Milan. 5 vital points onto the leaderboard. We have 36 goals for Solanke. He's been an absolute beast all rebuild long. He's still 90 rated at 34 years of age. 30 goals for Kulusevski, 29 for Kramer. And then again the drop-off from the front 3 to Zaire-Emery, 9 goals, 8 assists. I mean, look at the state of this team. It's an incredible team. Romero probably needs to get replaced. We put Morel in there for now. But otherwise, this team, everyone still in their 90s. We have an exceptional goalkeeper in, of course, Vicario. An exceptional back four. A very good midfield. And an absolute classical front 3 as well. We have collected 9 points in Season 8. 38 points after 8 seasons. Let's see what we can do in the final couple of seasons. In season number 9, we go in for a very big player. A new striker because Dominic Solanke is already 34. He's only going to decline from here. That's why we've opted for the last 2 seasons for a Brazilian striker. Don't even know how this is possible, but somehow Endrick was at Barcelona. We've corrected that error, brought him in for nearly 200 million to Spurs. We have made a whole list of transfers out, selling Rodrigo Bentancur, who's already 34, 86 rated, to Newcastle. Matistel, who hadn't really developed into the realms where we could use him regularly. So his release clause had been met by Barcelona, 110 million. And then Archie Gray to Manchester City, 79 million. And Mikey Moore finally to Brighton for 74. Season 9 marks probably our best signing yet. A centre-back, 26 and now. Guys, please sit down. He's 95 rated. Coming in from Barcelona, it is Borja Hurtado for 343 million, a centre-back. He is, of course, his release clause was the only way we could get him. He's 95 overall. Look at this team. Everyone above 90 rated. Most of them clearly above 90 rated. The two players we brought on, Endrick and Hurtado, have clearly improved it. And now we play for our first point against Chelsea in the Community Shield. Then we win 1-0. That's all I expected. 1 point onto the leaderboard. Following the signing of Hurtado, we've also sold Cristiano Romero at the decline of his career. 34, 87 overall. He's been a great servant to this club. Another Super Cup, this time against Fiorentina in the UEFA Super Cup. Let's see how this goes. Can we get another point? Yes, 4-1 win. An absolute demolition job of Fiorentina in the UEFA Super Cup. A second point of season 9 dusted. And once again we are there with 94 points. First place, 3 points onto the leaderboard. We've also won the FA Cup. Make that yet another point in season number 9 against Manchester United. 4-2 in the final. And even the Carabao Cup over Birmingham City in the final. We have really collected a lot of trophies this season in Season 9. However, this is the big one, the Champions League, where we absolutely demolished the group stages. 20 points, first place. We didn't go to the playoff. We immediately went to the round of 16. Where are we? We defeated Villarreal 5-3. We obliterated Bayern Munich 6-1. We even defeated Leipzig 4-2. And in the final, we've won yet another trophy. 5 points, 3-1 on penalties. Finally, we win a penalty shootout. This team is incredible. 42 goals and 18 assists for Kulusevski, 30 goals for Kramer, 23 for Endrick, 18 for Fermin, and even 13 and 14 for Zaire-Emery, 9 for Solanke from the bench. We've had an unbelievable season. We've won every trophy there is to win, so we've collected 12 points. I don't know if we've ever done that in a single season in Takeovers. 12 points in season number 9. This is the squad for the final season, the 10th season with Spurs. We'd be plain stupid to change anything after the success we've had. I mean, just look at all those players. The overalls are absolutely crazy. The bench, even, I mean, Dubois can go onto it ahead of Solanke. But otherwise, this team is just, as I said, absolutely brutal. The first competitive game, as per usual, the FA Community Shield against Manchester City, and we win 3-2. First point of season number 10. We continue our winning streak. We get some weird opponents today. This is Augsburg, the Europa League winner from last season, facing us off in the UEFA Super Cup. Let's see if we can get the second point here. And we do, but it took us into extra time before Zaire-Emery scored the winning goal in the 117th. 2 points onto the leaderboard in total. And we are once again, final time, the champions of the Premier League. 12 points out of Manchester United. We, however, haven't won the FA Cup as Hull City win that over Southampton. The Carabao Cup goes to ourselves, though, as we defeat Brighton in the final. 1 more point onto the leaderboard. And finally, the Champions League, where we finished in the top 8 as 7th placed. In the league phase, we went to the round of 16, where we defeated Anderlecht just about 4-3. We also defeated Chelsea 5-3. In the semis, we even thumped Napoli 5-1 aggregate. And in the final, we have collected yet another trophy, yet another Champions League. 5 points onto the leaderboard, defeating Real Madrid. Now, Endrick has absolutely destroyed the Premier League. He's gone up to a 92, 48 goals for him. 32 for Kulusevski, 22 for an injured Kramer, 19 and 12 for Zaire-Emery, and 6 goals for Güler. This is our final team, an absolutely insane front three, a phenomenal midfield, all of them at least 91 rated, and just look at those defenders. Udogi 96, 96 Hurtado, 93 Van de Ven, and even though he's 34, Porro is still 91 rated. Vicario at 37 years of age, 93 rated, and even the bench is absolutely bonkers. Even there we have 3 players in their 90s. So guys, with the first takeover of FC25 coming to an end, I want to share with you the stats, the points total that we have delivered with Spurs. Actually a very good first takeover, I would say. We have collected 61 points over those 10 seasons. Of course, this is the benchmark to break for the other teams. But guys, if you enjoyed this takeover, the first one of FC25, then please consider dropping a like on the video, subscribing to the channel, and tell me in the comments what other teams you'd like to see next in the takeover of FC25. Until next time, it's been Rebuild Sombrero. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm out.